One alternative fuel source receiving large government subsidies is ethanol. Because of this, farmers who were growing corn for a cornucopia of products, such as canned corn and creamed corn and cornstarch and cornbread and corn muffins and corn flour and corn flakes and corn pops and corn nuts and corn syrup and corn dogs and popcorn and candy corn and Cornish game hens. No, not Cornish game hens. No, not that corn. These farmers now grow corn for ethanol because everybody's growing ethanol, then that creates a shortage of all the tasty things I just mentioned. Besides all those products, well, I did mention cornmeal. The beef people feed cornmeal to their cattle and then feed that cattle to you and me in the form of, like they say in Chicago, hamburgers and hot dogs. Hot dogs and hamburgers and sausages. Sausage. You want some sausage? Sausages, hamburgers and hot dogs. Hot dogs. Just saying hot dog like that makes me want a hot dog. You want a hot dog? So, because we want hot dogs, we're forced to pay more for hamburgers and hot dogs. Because they are forced to pay more for the cornmeal because of two other things. This is all like dominoes, isn't it? One falls on the other. They have to pay the corn farmer at least as much as that farmer gets from the ethanol manufacturing company, plus what that corn farmer gets from the government in the form of subsidies. So the shortage of the cornmeal causes the price of the cornmeal to increase, which means hamburgers and hot dogs and sausages. Oh yeah, and don't forget milk. But of course, our wise leaders have a way to deal with this. Pay cornmeal subsidies. That's right, Mr. and Mrs. America. You get to pay more for all these products because you have been led to believe that you are causing global warming. How's that sound? Sounds pathetic to me. And now in my best Barack Obama imitation, which sounds kind of like some arrogant, self-assured Marine Corps helicopter pilot. With all due respect to the Marine Corps and its helicopter pilots. But you and I both know, with all due respect, sirs, that there are a few assholes amongst you. Because of the increase in the use of ethanol, you would assume that crude oil use would decrease. But the oil company is still out there trying to sell oil and gasoline, and it still has the same overhead. Unless you want them to lay off a bunch of people and sell off a bunch of property and abandon your hometown, taking with them all the money that they pour into that area. And, they'll have the same amount of expenses, but they won't be making as much money. If you don't want any of that to happen, then the oil company has to be able to generate the same revenue as it was before, because we have to establish a level playing field. That's what the government will do. As your president, Barack Obama, we will have a government subsidy for the oil companies. Come on, man, please. Now, the oil companies will have to charge more for gasoline. There's no way out of that. The grain trucks delivering the corn to the ethanol manufacturing plants. And, you know, those giant combines and reapers and harvesters out there on the corn farm, all them big pieces of equipment. What do you think powers the corn mill where the corn is ground? in the cornmeal. What do you think powers all that? The wind? The sun? No. Hamsters in a wheel? Slaves? No. Power plant. Most likely powered by, guess what? Coal brought to the plant in rail cars or trains powered by, you know what? Diesel fuel. To distribute your precious ethanol, you're going to have the same trains and trucks powered by that disgusting, nasty diesel fuel. That's good stuff. That's good stuff, that diesel, man. 25-to-1 compression ratio. Nothing as powerful as that. It's the only thing that's going to move that grain truck or that combine or that train. And that's the way it's going to stay for a long time to come, because nothing else is practical. Nothing else makes sense. So that would be a certain segment in the production and the infrastructure